I asked 9 sellers, sales leaders and founders, what's the future for AI in sales? And this is what they said.
My predictions
I could see into the future
are pretty aggressive.
It's wild to think that a few months ago, none of us were even talking about this.
I think SDRs will diminish.
Like you have these teams of 20 that are probably going to be teams of 5 within the next year. Everything that they can do, the ChatGPT can do it maybe even better, but faster, of course.
The vast majority of sales organizations are going to look at it like an easy button.
Organizations might be hesitant to add necessarily more sales headcount. If a chatbot's able to do 80% as good as an SMB seller and an org doesn't have to pay them, $100K a year, a lot of CEOs and execs will turn to that as more efficient ways to drive revenue growth.
Our natural tendency to just abuse things, just the pursuit of ease is going to get us into this really, really loud, noisy environment where being a human actually is going to be a differentiator once again.
People say, oh, AI is going to replace people. I don't think it's going to replace sales because people buy from people. And I think there's a really important aspect of putting thought into things.
I don't think it's going to kill the SDR function or any of those functions. If anything, I think it's going to make them better, more lean.
Most people think, hey, AI is turning us into sounding more like robots. If you look at AI just generating prospecting emails, for example, it sounds very robotic, not human.
I have tried out tools that use AI or say they use AI to personalize, and a lot of times I haven't seen what I want to see.
I want to teach my reps the basics first, and then I want them to automate everything on top of that. I don't want them to skip that step.
We just take these toys, they're shiny and they're beautiful, and we just beat them over and over.
The rise of AI in touching every piece of a workflow is actually making sellers more human, because then the question becomes, the areas that it hasn't yet touched or impacted, those are the things that only you as a human can do.
I think we'll get much smarter about not looking for it to do everything and start isolating where can it be helpful.
Making sellers more efficient and effective in terms of their day-to-day.
So I think it is going to give us that tailwind to be much more targeted, look after more quality, but also be very, very aware of any type of spam that is going on in sales.
Automate things like follow-up emails, capture action items easily, engage with prospects or top of funnel more easily with things like auto dialers or things like AI and generative AI in terms of sequencing.
I fully expect there will be a pendulum swing where we go all in on AI, then we realize the damage that it's causing, and then we swing back.
The areas that it hasn't yet touched or impacted, those are the things that only you as a human can do.
Jump on AI, don't rely on it ever, completely. Let AI do most of that bulk work for you, and then make sure that you're putting your touch on it.
Salespeople who are using AI are going to be so much more successful, faster at the boring stuff that they hated to do.
I love the idea I wouldn't have to read an annual report from start to finish, and I could get something that helps me summarize that. That I'm jazzed about, because you're not sacrificing quality, you're only furthering quality by bettering your understanding of an account.
I think you still need people like me, and I think this is going to make that function better.
Part of what a human does is like they synthesize a lot of information so that they can say, this is the piece that's missing and not present in this. This is what you should do in order to guide or make a recommendation, for example, to an executive on a buying team.
And I think that's the beauty of our age. We still have to use our own heads and think about it and build our own opinions and be critical about stuff that you read on the internet.
And again, it's great at summarizing and looking at the data that it does have, but what the seller needs to do is say, in light of all of this, what's still missing?
They will definitely be so much better than people who try to do it by themselves or people who just think they're smart and are going to automate everything.
Those that lean into it will be rewarded. In terms of most other technological advancements, it's better to lean into it and be early to the change side of things, because that's where the direction's going.
There can be powerful reps and there can be powerful AI. So you want to combine forces and do both, that's your best bet.
Salesperson brain with AI, this is going to be really strong.